dress, I went and I showcased with this guitar player a song that I had no lyrics for, and I told them, Larry, I hate pop music and I'm never gonna do it, and I don't want to be a part of it, and I don't like New York, I hate these big buildings and whatever. And then, you know, we left the meeting, and my manager back then, Lauri, said, you screwed it up, man, like you just lost your biggest chance in life. And 5 minutes later he called back and said, I'm gonna sign Curly. Yes.
So, when did you move? Because you moved to US after that, and at first, as I understand, just to record the first album, that you kind of lived in New York. When did it happen? How fast after you made the deal with Island?
Yeah, it was really a fascinating time because when I made my first album, it was still the time when the labels were spending a lot of money. So I spent like months there, and there was a time where I actually lived like in a penthouse on the 25th floor, like 2 bedrooms overlooking the 8th Avenue. It was like a glass wall, like it was really like how you imagine the music business from like the outside perspective. I wish back then I was smarter and I just could have told them to give me the money to make the videos or spend it, you know, in a wiser way. But I thought that I felt very entitled, and I felt like, oh, that's the way it's supposed to be. And we made the album, and the album actually sat on a shelf for like 2 years.
How did it make you feel? I mean, you've made, in your opinion...
It was very frustrating. It was very frustrating. And how actually my first album came out was, I was already living in the States, and I had a friend that worked on MySpace. So he hooked me up with the featured artist spot. And he said, every person that writes you, you're gonna have to write back. You're gonna have to build your fan base. So I built my own fan base, and the label saw, oh, I guess she has something going on, so they started putting out my singles. But I had to do it. Nobody was gonna do it for me.
Who's the one who said that, you know, you have to come and live in the States? Was it the kind of the label suggested it, or you just wanted to take that leap from Europe to US?
Yeah, they suggested, but yeah, I was definitely, you know, thrilled with the idea.
How long did it take to write and record Love Is Dead? It was the first album of yours.
It was kind of done over a couple of years.
Who chose the singles?
I think in the end, we agreed.
With the label that what should be kind of the single, etc.
Yeah, I guess there were some different ideas thrown around, and I didn't do some things that they would have wanted. There's a couple other songs that they wanted to release, and I actually wish that maybe back then I should have listened a little more. You know, there were songs on my album that I wanted to be, you know, I wanted them to be really alternative. You know, without understanding that there's no point of being on a major label and not making pop music. Like it's not smart.
What was their opinion or first reaction when you kind of presented them the songs or the artwork or your concept of yourself?
Well, you know, I created like a cartoon character, and I you know, I really wanted to create like a whole world. You know, I went to LA Reid and I said, hey, look at this character that we created. This is comic books. This is computer games, this is a whole world, this is cartoons, this is, you know, this is everything. And they were just like, no, why can't you just be a hot girl on the cover of the album? And I was like, no, this is like a whole new way of like, you know, doing things, how we could, you know, let's really create something new. And like, it just was completely over their heads at that time.
But they accepted it in the end.
Well, they accepted the cover, yes, but we could have built amazing things, but it was still the mindset that they had, that we're going to make money off music sales, which is like, in reality, you don't really make money off music sales, you know.
You also, on that album, Love Is Dead, you actually wrote one song with Guy Chambers, who, you know, Robbie Williams has said that he's as much Robbie Williams as himself. And he has written many hit songs for Robbie Williams. The song was The Creationist. What was it like to work with Guy Chambers? How did that song come about?
You know, songs just kind of happen. And at that time I was very much into just like the divine inspiration and not so much of the craft of the writing. You know, I was just like, you know, I can't write every day. I I'm not feeling it every day, I can't do it, you know. So with Guy, it just really, you know, panned out nicely, and obviously like songwriters, like with a career this long and, you know, with the skill, they're incredible and they're incredible people. And I think what keeps a lot of people that have been songwriters for a long time really relevant is that they're actually really open to the ideas that the younger people bring to the room. Like there is no ego, there's no room for ego.